Pam Sapko, Executive Director of the Delaware Center for Horticulture, and I want to welcome you here to our celebration of breaking new ground. We want to show you our expansion and renovation of our facilities, which will incorporate a lot of really interesting green technology that is accessible to anybody. So let's go. We're really excited. This is our signing wall, and right behind it is what is going to be our Green Jobs training room. It's going to be an area where we can do classroom training for our Green Jobs program. It used to be my office. It was way too big for my office, so it's going to be a great resource center. And then we'll have a breakout room right behind us. And this will become open space. We have a temporary construction wall just for safety at this point.
Okay, and when you say a resource room, like what kind of resources do you mean?
Well, we have downsized our library to something that is much more user-friendly, so that will also be incorporated into this resource center. So here we are in a renovated area. We had to move all our staff from one place to another, and we took the opportunity to use our space more efficiently. So what was a coat closet is now our computer room. What was really functioned just as a bar is now our reception area. This was half of a gallery space. We have transformed the gallery space into a conference room, which you'll see around the corner. So this is the other half of the gallery space becomes a very functional conference room. And as we move down the hallway, we'll go into what was the library that has been transformed into another conference room and offices. And then the library will move into our Green Jobs training area. So one of the nice things about this project is we've been able to reuse a lot of materials. So all of the built-ins that we had before for shelving and workstation surfaces, tables, we have repurposed. We have saved all of the trim to reuse throughout the facility. So that really helps us cut down on cost. And we've matched the colors so that they can work with the new spaces. This used to be our main meeting room where we'd have lectures, civic meetings, and it has been converted for 6 months to staff offices. So the cubicles are cast-offs from WSFS. They date back to the 1970s, and they've been fantastic for workstations. We put down a carpet to keep down noise, and staff is getting used to the more open format that we'll have in the future. I want you to look outside the window, because out here is going to be an accessible green roof where you can walk out from this room. There will be several doors put into the wall so that you can walk out. It will be a patio and an accessible green roof, which is something that we really want to see more of in Wilmington. We're in an area where we have the combined sewer overflow, so everything that we can do to cut back on water entering the sewer system is a great thing, especially during storm events. So we're planning on incorporating a cistern, 2 green roofs, a tree trench in the courtyard, a rain garden. So it's very exciting. And then from an energy conservation standpoint, we're looking to put solar panels on this roof, which is about the only good surface we have for light here. And we're using things like insulation and good energy efficient lighting and HVAC equipment. So what we had down here was really a rabbit warren of small offices. We kept subdividing, and eventually we had 12 people in 700 square feet. So we really needed more meeting rooms, more areas to collaborate. We have a lot of groups that come in and work with us on different projects. It's great to have spaces to just plan and meet. So we expanded out the back. We took out a greenhouse, which was nice to have, but it really wasn't something we absolutely needed for our program. So that gave us the ability to move out the back into a whole new wing. And what you see here is reconfigured space that will stay fairly open, but there are meeting rooms and areas. Okay. Okay, so this area will be a storage room, and this will be open meeting space and collaboration areas. Then we have two small meeting rooms here that will be used for webinars, or if somebody really has to focus on working on their budget or something that they need absolute quiet for, they'll have access to these rooms. Behind us is a meeting room that will be accessible for inside, outside groups. We've sprayed a green insulation on the roof. We used to have problems with noise from upstairs. You could hear every pin drop from upstairs down here, and then when somebody dropped a glass of wine or something, it would drip down here. So we're glad to make that improvement. And we're trying to add more light down here too, because it used to be really kind of dark, and for an environmental organization, it's nice to have the natural elements available. So this is the main expansion area with the green roof above, and there'll be a cistern around the corner that will capture rainwater off of the roofs. We have a nice bank of windows that will let more light into the facility, where we'll have the bulk of our program staff, meeting rooms, collaboration areas. So it will be a really nice workspace when we're finished. So this is an illustration of what our expansion in the back will look like when it's finished. This area is all new construction. Upstairs is a green roof, which will be accessible from the meeting rooms. You can walk right out on it. It will be sort of a patio green roof where you'll actually be able to see, touch, feel green roof, which holds back water from the combined sewer overflow when it's wet. So it's a beautiful kind of pattern of greens and yellows when it's growing. And you'll be able to go right out on it. Down below is a nice bank of windows which will let more light into the lower level, and it will be a combination of meeting rooms, collaboration areas, and workstations. Then around the corner is a water cistern which will collect the stormwater off of the roofs and go into a big tank that we'll then use to fill up the water trucks to water trees in the city and to water new plantings on site.
So this is the area we were just at.
Yes, this is the area in the back that faces Brandywine Park. And next door is Lincoln Towers and the fire station. My name is Pam Sapko. I'm the director at the Delaware Center for Horticulture. I want to welcome you here today. It's really a very, very exciting day. So before we get started, I just want to give a round of applause to our board of directors and our staff. If you will all put your hands up, thank you. There has been an incredible amount of work and a good deal of time that has passed to get us to this day. And so we're really thrilled to be able to share it with you. And I'd like to introduce to you our incoming board president, who's David Brownlee. We know he's going to lead us through the next couple of years, and he will be coming on as board president in a month or so. And so our program today is we're going to give you a few remarks. We're going to have the opportunity for a tour and a special wall signing opportunity. David?
Great. So welcome, everyone. Good day to you. It's so great to have you here. This is such an exciting moment in the history of the DCH, and I'm thrilled to be part of it, and I'm thrilled to share it with each and every one of you. Today we pause to celebrate the DCH breaking new ground, to thank the many, many individuals that helped along the way to get us where we are, to make this happen, and to give you, as Pam said, an opportunity to walk through the construction site and see firsthand what's being done. You all know what we do here at the DCH. Certainly we plant trees, we offer classes, we look at updating medians in our area, as well as landscaping of any kind that we do. And it's been an effort of love with a lot of different individuals contributing to that success. But we want you to know what it really means. And the reason why the campaign has been called Changing Landscapes, Changing Lives. And that's really, really important to us in the way that we deal with each other. And if I could just ask out there, how many of you out there have been impacted in some way by the DCH? Just raise your hand for me, please. Wow. Wow, what's that say? That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'd like to share with you a couple brief stories, if I could. Pat went through our HELP program, the Horticultural and Environmental Leadership Program for low-income students, and was motivated to continue in the environmental field. So this summer became actually an intern in the Partnership for Delaware Estuary. It's pretty cool. In addition, another story, when the movers were moving equipment from the downstairs to the upstairs, one of the individuals stopped our director and asked if we still ran the HELP program. Of course, the response to that, yeah, sure. The individual stated that, well, by attending that program, it gave me the motivation that I am now working for a landscaping organization. And finally, Floyd. Floyd's one of our return to work graduates. He expressed our job training and how it changed his life on WHYY, the program You Bet Your Garden. He was never really the type that was interested in trees or environment or anything like that. But because of that program and how it motivated him and literally changed his life, he actually began his own landscaping business. So that's a great success story. Those are just 3 stories of the many, many stories we hear here at the DCH on a regular basis. So they're all so moving and so much appreciated. And hopefully during the course of the day today, if you yourself have any stories you'd like to share with us, please do so. We love to hear them, and we never get tired of them, that's for sure. So now our project. After many years, the board realized that we could no longer squeeze into limited spaces more staff, more materials, more volunteers, more programs. We also felt it was very important that we demonstrate best environmental practices. And so after much work from numerous people, dedicated individuals, we are where we are today. We began the processing, and throughout the process, and early on, it was kind of up and down, up and down. There were highs and lows, but to see it come to fruition now, and to see the excitement, even we just had a board meeting a few days ago, and to go around and hear everyone and join in the shared vision, it's so exciting to be part of that. As you know, we're in the middle of a capital campaign to raise $3.5 million. To date, we've raised 2.2, so we have some work to do. We planned our expansion in phases. Phase 1, which you're seeing. Phase 2 is what we hope to move into as soon as we can. With this project, just so you know, actually we've incorporated a lot of environmental recycling procedures that we're very proud of. We've recycled much of our construction waste through Revolution Recovery. We're reusing a lot of the old oak trim in the building walls, as well as using green products such as that insulation foam. We're also excited about improvements in our infrastructure. Now again, because of this program, this project, we're able to become more environmentally friendly. And not only what we do, but how we do it. Unhooking sewer from stormwater drains. And as you'll be able to see or hear through today, a lot of other energy efficient opportunities that guests can actually see firsthand of what we'll be doing. So with that said, I'd like to acknowledge and thank our capital campaign leadership. This has been no easy task for any of them, and they've really worked extremely hard. Our honorary chairs are Gina Bissell and Hank Davis. I think you all are here. Our campaign chairs, Lynn Carbonell and Chris and Mary Patterson. And of course, other committee volunteers, our Donor Relations Committee, including Ann Wick, Lloyd Bove, and Betsy McCoy. And who can forget our campaign treasurer, Susan Fisher. Susan. We also want to acknowledge acknowledge our building committee leadership. These folks have been together for, so long, and they've had their regular meetings. They've worked so hard through some very challenging situations in getting to this process, and we all can't thank them enough for the work that they've done. So I'd like to recognize Scott Johnson, Linda Boyden, and Don Fisher for the work that they've done. We also acknowledge and thank our contractors and partners on this project. Tracy Luckenbill, our architect from Bearden, Haber, and Holloway. I know you're here somewhere. Tom Cover, our builder from Snyder Compton Associates, and his remarkable team. And Joe Pagoni, our owner's representative. Joe's done a fantastic job. One of the smartest things we did was bring Joe on early in this process, and he's done a yeoman's job for us, so we're greatly appreciated. And finally, I'd like to offer special thanks and gratitude to each and every one of you for your continued support and dedication to the DCH. I know I've talked to a few of you, and the passion that you have and are able to express about your role and your association with the DCH is just so impressive, and I thank you, and I hope we get a chance to talk a little bit later. We're very fortunate to have with us today Hank Davis. He's a DCH volunteer, a member and donor whose mom, Helen Detchen, was one of our founders and the driving force behind this organization. Hank, like to say a few words?
Good morning. It's a beautiful morning, and glad you can all come out. I just wanted to say a few words sort of on how my life has come full circle through my mother's visions. Some maybe 34 years ago, I was just getting out of college and really had very little direction, and yet I was a young man, good size and everything like that, and she tapped me on the shoulder and said, "I got a project for you." And that project was to be a volunteer for the first rare plant auction. So that was my first experience here with Delaware Center for Horticulture. 34 years later, I can say that I've been active in every auction. And in those first years, it wasn't really exciting. It was moving plants around and breaking out in the sweat and running around here and there to get stuff, feed people, move beer, whatever. But as each year grew, as we moved forward, my passion for horticulture developed, and I became a collector of plants. Went back to the University of Delaware, got a degree in plant science, and moved my career forward, and at the same time became more and more engrossed in the activities of the Delaware Center for Horticulture. So for me, she unfortunately passed away 23 years ago, when the capital campaign was underway to move us into this facility back in 1992, right? Is that when we moved in? So she died in 91, so she wasn't able to see it. But she was very instrumental in the whole process of getting over here. So for me, when they asked me to be honorary chair, it really came full circle to participate in the expansion of something that she so dearly loved and really wanted it to succeed. So for me, I am thrilled with honoring her memory and taking on the responsibilities of the vision that she had in making DCH what it is today. So just wanted to say that. Thank you very much.